is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. Norman Cousins. My grandma and I always had a special connection. She was an incredible woman living a very healthy lifestyle. But most importantly for her was the family. She made sure we were surrounded by love, kindness, the communication was up between everybody. Even on her journey to death, she made sure to unite us, once and for all. Here Comes the Fire by Scentway best describes the timeline of my grandmother's death. It all began in February, about 1.5 years ago, when my grandparents and my father went for a walk. Grandma returned home to grab a scarf, only to be found by my father 15 minutes later, just riding up and down the elevator completely disorientated. This is one of many effects of a stroke. Others include things like paralysis, difficulty talking and swallowing, emotional and physical weakness, memory loss, and much more. 2 days later, my grandma was hospitalized, and only 4 days after that, right at the hospital, she received another stroke. This one was huge. Her whole left side was paralyzed. She did not remember anybody except for my grandfather. We were devastated. The song goes, "I'm laying wide awake since the lights went out. I don't even know what it was all about." This is exactly how we felt. We just couldn't possibly understand how a person we love so much, who leads such a healthy lifestyle, could be suffering through this. The second episode of this crazy journey began when my grandma was brought home. The rehabilitation process started. Being a family of doctors, everybody had a job. I was assigned to be the emotional support and do mental exercises along with some drawing and writing to help her left side. "It's time to bring my body back to life," sings Scentway. This is exactly what was happening, and my grandma was succeeding like no other. In only 2 months, she was up on her feet, talking, communicating, even cooking at times. This was wild for us. We were incredibly happy. However, the song continues. Out in the cold, crossing all the wires, here comes the fire. It's out of control, flames are getting higher. Here comes the fire. There are 2 possible causes of stroke. One is trombosis, which is when blood vessels get cluttered. The second one is weak blood vessels. Weak to the point where they just pop for no external reason. This was my grandma's case, sadly. In total, she survived 5 strokes and was still up on her feet, fighting for her life. Lastly, in July 2022, my grandparents decided to visit their favorite vacation place because my grandma felt awesome and they decided to take the chance. This was a crucial mistake. The micro vibrations of the train that they took, they were absolutely fatal to her brain. 2 hours after their arrival, she received her worst stroke ever. 26 days in coma, a heart attack, and yet another stroke, my grandmother passed away. When the news were released, I thought I would be devastated. But all I felt was relief. Relief that the sufferings from my grandma, my family, were over. Now, looking back, I realize how unique of an experience this was. As a family, we got very united under this stressful situation. Now we at least know that we can survive and power through with love and kindness. And most importantly, we were able to tell Grandma everything that we wanted. I personally learned that people are way stronger than they think they are. If they put their mind to something, it is absolutely possible. Determination is key to success. And life is unpredictable, so we better enjoy every chance we have. To sum up, Here Comes the Fire by Scentway best describes the timeline of my grandmother's death. Turning back to the quote by Norman Cousins, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live." I am happy to say that even though my grandmother left this world, she still lives through the memories and love in our hearts. Thank you.